What's going on, everyone? So by now, I'm sure most, if not all of you, are aware that Jarred Vanderbilt is coming back. He is expected to play Saturday against the Golden State Warriors. But here's the question. What does Jarred Vanderbilt, or how does Jarred Vanderbilt impact the Lakers and moves that they may potentially make around the trade deadline, right? One, Jarred Vanderbilt, they've kind of had him and floated him out there in various trades since the offseason. Is that something that they're hoping that, like, between now and the trade deadline, right, that he can maybe show enough to where a team goes, okay, like, this is the piece, this is the move, right, this is the thing that we want, right, healthy Vando, or Vando's starting to look healthy, starting to head and trend in the right direction, let's go make the move and grab Vando, right? Because right now, based on reports, is that he has basically a negative trade value, that teams would want an asset to take him on. The Lakers would have to attach a first. Now, look, we've heard this a million times. We heard this with Russell Westbrook. Oh, you have to give 2 firsts just to trade just to trade Russell Westbrook. That's not even counting getting pieces back. And look, we were able to get enough to get to the conference finals and only had to give up a protected first. Now, obviously, Russell Westbrook was an expiring contract where Jarred Vanderbilt has multiple years still on his deal. But also, Vando could fit and plug in anywhere. He's only making $10 million a year, and Russell Westbrook was looked at as like a legit like negative asset. Like, there's very few teams, if any, that he fits on. Obviously, we see in hindsight, hey, he's done pretty good in Denver, right? But nonetheless, right, it's just, I think you look at Vando and you look at his specific skill. All right, obviously, if you attach him in a pick or something, which I know a lot of people see mixed on it. Some people I've seen are like, yes, trade him, get it done before he gets hurt again. Some people are like, no, you have to keep Vando. He's too important, too valuable. The question I think you have to ask yourself is, can the Lakers afford the gamble? Because you are taking a gamble on Jarred Vanderbilt. You're taking a gamble that Jarred Vanderbilt's going to stay healthy and that he's going to come back and he's going to have that impact. And he's going to be able to reach those heights again. There are questions of, will he be ever able to do that? I've seen lots of guys get foot surgery. He had two foot surgeries on both feet, right? That's something that he, like, out of like all players, he in particular definitely needs his feet. So these are all things that I think you got to weigh and kind of gauge when discussing and thinking on a Jarred Vanderbilt. But as far as, obviously, outside of you looking to trade him and adding him and his $10 million to a trade to go get a piece or two, right? If you keep him, and if he can kind of start showing and shaping and being the guy that you need as between now and the trade deadline progresses, well, then you've already solved one of your biggest needs. Obviously, you can never have too much perimeter defense, too much 3-and-D guys. But if you get Jarred Vanderbilt, do the Lakers now look at it as like, okay, we have that other wing. It also takes pressure off of trading a Rui Hachimura, because it's like, if we get rid of Rui Hachimura, you have all this unknown and mystery about Jarred Vanderbilt, right? If all that we have left is Dorian Finney-Smith and then twos that we might have to play as threes or like connect, then it's just like, is that really best for the Lakers? But if Jarred Vanderbilt's healthy, well, then now you can kind of stomach, okay, well, let's trade Rui Hachimura, because now we have Dorian Finney-Smith and we have Jarred Vanderbilt, and then you always have, Dalton Connect, and then a Max Christie you could slide over, move LeBron to the 3 in little spots and minutes. So you'd be fine in that regard as far as like your wing depth and all that. So now you can kind of pivot in other directions and look elsewhere. Also, you can kind of justify turning Rui into, say, a Bruce Brown. Right? Because it's like, okay, well, we don't want to get rid of a wing for a guard, even though we need a guard. But if we trade for a guard and now we need another wing, well, then we have another redundancy, right? Like if now the Lakers look at it and go, okay, well, now Vando can be that guy. Now Vando can be that guy that slots in, comes in and plays in and can be that wing off the bench that you can also slot alongside of Dorian Finney-Smith and kind of just go big at times and have that defensive versatility out there and all those things. That just kind of changes things for the Lakers. So now, right, like now you can justify going and getting a Bruce Brown because now you have a Jarred Vanderbilt. So now you could go, Bruce Brown, Dorian Finney-Smith, or Bruce Brown, Jarred Vanderbilt, or you could Austin Reeves, right? you got multiple options there. Probably be Reeves. Probably be like Bruce Brown, Reeves, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron James, Anthony Davis. But like defensive units, you could go Bruce Brown with Jarred Vanderbilt or Max Christie, Dorian Finney-Smith or Jarred Vanderbilt. Really, Dorian Finney-Smith, Jarred Vanderbilt. I mean, you could do even like, you could do like Bruce Brown, Max Christie, Jarred Vanderbilt, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Anthony Davis. Whew, that defensive versatility. Whew. So the point is, it gives you more options, gives you more flexibility on just your lineups and your rotations and stuff like that, and kind of justify that. If he is kind of struggling and he is having his issues, do the Lakers now look at it and go, okay, like, can we really count and trust on him? So maybe we need to get that other guy, right? Maybe we need to go, instead of going and getting a Bruce Brown, maybe we need to go get like a Josh Green and a, Cody Martin, right? Bring in two guys that can slot in essentially 2 through 3, right? And is that something that the Lakers kind of feel like a little more pressure? Because again, if you can go get, like if Vando comes in and you can trust Vando, obviously you don't know what tomorrow will bring. You don't know how things will shape up, right? A month from now, whatever. But if you can kind of look at it and go, okay, Jarred Vanderbilt stays the course, well, then now we have a little flexibility because now we don't desperately need like a Cam Johnson, right? I mean, if you could still get him, you still get him, but you can now go, okay, well, now let's go pivot and get that center and that guard. I still think Bruce Brown and Jonas Valanciunas are the two most likely players, but if Jarred Vanderbilt can be that guy, those two guys make so much more sense, right? Where if you trade Rui and then you don't have Vando, well, then it's like, okay, well, now you could end up being a rock and a hard place here pretty quick. So it's like, okay, do we go for a Kyle Kuzma? Do you maybe pony up and go get a Jeremy Grant just because you don't want to run the risk of like anything else? And then, you can figure it out and have Dorian Finney-Smith and Kuz or Dorian Finney-Smith and, Grant or whatever out there and kind of figure that out, right? Like there's definitely, you have more flexibility, you have more options if Vando can stay healthy, if Vando can be that piece, because not only does he impact the game, I mean, again, you're talking about one of, if not the best perimeter defenders in the entire league. Talk about a guy that would change our defense overnight. We saw 2 years ago, Anthony Davis plus Jarred Vanderbilt made the Lakers the best defense in the league. What does Anthony Davis plus Jarred Vanderbilt, add in Max Christie, add in Dorian Finney-Smith, what do those two guys, paired with those two guys, how does the defense look now? That was with Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell as your point guard and two guard. Like one of the worst, if not the worst defensive backcourts in the league. And we were still number one defensively because of how much ground Jarred Vanderbilt covers, because of how impactful Jarred Vanderbilt does. It's not counting the rebounds, right? The defense, the hustle plays, right? Like chasing down 50-50 balls, getting 50-50 balls, him creating more offensive opportunities through turnovers and transition and securing offensive and defensive rebounds, right? All of these things impact the game in a multitude of ways. And then you also add in Jarred Vanderbilt can be that 8 to 12 point a game guy, just being the slip man, screen and roll type things, and just being the high energy, putbacks and corner crashing and just backdoor cutter, stuff like that. Like you can see a vision where the Lakers actually start looking like a competent team on both sides of the basketball because of Jarred Vanderbilt. Now, I don't think Jarred Vanderbilt by himself is the cure-all. I don't think Jarred Vanderbilt by himself, now the Lakers are the best team in the league, but it's a huge step in the right direction. And then now you bring in, say, a Bruce Brown and a Valanciunas. Now your top 8 guys are just much better balanced, much better. You always can have defensive pieces out there. You can always have, and multiple defensive pieces out there. You can always have some shooting out there. You can always have some, size. You have multiple ways, right? So now you could go with Valanciunas and an Anthony Davis with, a Bruce Brown, Austin Reeves, Dorian Finney-Smith, or, go with Anthony Davis and put a Dorian Finney-Smith at the 4 and, like I said, a Vando at the 3 and or go with Dalton Connect at the 3 and then Vando even at the 2 and you have these kind of different mix and match assemble your favorite unit type thing, and you can kind of experiment a little bit, get to the playoffs, have your rotation kind of set, locked up, ready to go, and then figure it out from there. So I really do think that Jarred Vanderbilt may change the Lakers' approach via trades. I definitely think the Lakers may start to look, okay, depending on how, obviously if Vando comes out and he's rough and rocky, which is a very real possibility, then the Lakers might just have to kind of guess, right? Lakers might have to play a little bit of the guessing game. But if you can start seeing a clear path with Vando, well, now you don't have to guess. Now you know, okay, let's go get this or let's go get that. Okay, now let's focus on the center. We don't need another wing. It's clear we need another guard. We need another center, right? Or we need another center and some bench depth, right? Whatever. However they want to cut it, because we can always move Jarred Vanderbilt to the 2 and just go Reeves, Vando, Dorian, LeBron, and AD, right? Something like that. But anyway, the Lakers. Good thing is Lakers have options, and I do think Jarred Vanderbilt could potentially swing the way we kind of view the trade market coming up. But time will tell. Anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? And what are your thoughts? Do you think Jarred Vanderbilt kind of changes the way that the Lakers approach the trade deadline and potentially trade market period? Do you think, no, like, stay the course, keep doing what you're doing? We know what we need. It's not going to change just because of Jarred Vanderbilt. Anyway, how you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I love to hear it, so let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.